Hello everyone, this is lecture number 3 of Computer Literacy for all FSSAI exam series. So today in this lecture we will discuss about basic organization of computer. Topic covered are your parts of computer system, we will discuss about CPU and its component, and we will discuss about units of memory. So now if you haven't installed our application Ranking Pedia Education, so install our application and upcoming lecture notes will be uploaded in YT class notes section. And if you want to access free study material, then you have to visit for study material section. So now, if you are new on our channel, subscribe our channel Ranking Pedia Education. Now we are going to start the lecture. So first we will discuss about the basic organization of a computer. Now, computer is divided into majorly three parts. First one is your input unit, second one is your CPU, and third one is your output unit. Computer system comprises of these three important parts. First is your input unit, second is your CPU unit, and third is your output unit. Now, this is how it looks like. This is the diagram of basic organization of a computer. Now we will discuss about input units. So, what is an input unit? It is formed by attaching one or more input devices to a computer. When we are attaching one or more input devices to a computer, it forms an input unit. So, input unit in this, the user input data and instructions through devices like keyboard and mouse, as I have shown earlier in a diagram. So, through keyboard and mouse, we input data and instructions. The input unit is used to provide data to the processor for further processing. So, this was about input unit. Next is your central processing unit. CPU stands for central processing unit. So now, CPU is the main unit of a computer. It controls all internal and external devices of a computer, and it performs arithmetic and logical operation. That's why it is known as the main unit of a computer. Now, what are arithmetical and logical operations? So, CPU is actually a very small and is referred as a microprocessor. A microprocessor is a type of an integrated circuit which is built on a tiny piece of a silicon. Now, these microprocessor chip contains millions of transistors, right? So now the CPU speed is determined by number of instructions it executes per second, and the CPU speed is measured in megahertz, that is MHz. Next is your output unit. Your third and important part of computer system is your output unit. Output unit, it is formed by attaching the output devices to a computer. Now what are these output devices? We will later on see. These output units of a computer accept the information from the CPU and it displays to the output in a user readable form. This is what an output unit comprises of. Now, commonly used output devices are VDU, that is Visual Display Unit, your LCD, that is your liquid crystal display, your printer, your speakers. These are some commonly used output devices, right? So, if we talk about overall basic organization of a computer, so in input unit is formed by attaching one or more input devices to a computer. Your input devices are like your keyboard, mouse. These are your input devices. And what does a CPU does? CPU is the main unit of a computer as it controls all the internal and external devices of a computer, and also it performs your arithmetic and logical operations. Now comes your output unit. Output unit is formed by attaching the output devices to a computer, right? So there are also components of CPU we will discuss in this video only. So now, if you guys are preparing for FSSAI exam, so you can purchase this question bank. It comprises of 500 plus important MCQs for FSSAI exam. If you are preparing for FSSAI Central Food Safety Officer or FSSAI technical officer or your assistant job. So you can purchase this computer literacy question bank, as in these examination 10 to 25 questions come from this portion only. Price is rupees just 149. You can simply download our application, Ranking Pedia Education application, or you can visit our website, that is www.rankingpediaeducation.com. Links will be provided in the description. So moving forward, next is your CPU and its component. Now we will discuss about what is CPU and its component in detail. So CPU consists of majorly three parts. First is your memory unit, second one is your arithmetic and logical unit, and third one is your CU, that is control unit. So we will start with a memory unit. The memory unit is the principal storage of a computer, right? So it stores both data and instruction. It can also be stored permanently in a memory unit. Now, data and instructions can be stored permanently in a memory unit. This is the main property of a memory unit. Memory unit is also classified into internal memory and your external memory. So now, as earlier I have told, that memory unit shares both data and instructions. So these data and instructions can also be stored permanently in this unit. Why? That they will be available when we required. As per our need, it can be stored permanently in a memory. As per our need, we can take data, we can fetch data and instructions from it, right? So this memory unit is also linked with other parts of a computer and sends data to them whenever needed. Computer memory is classified into internal memory and in external memory. Now we will discuss about what is internal memory and your external memory. So computer memory, now we will discuss about first internal memory. What is an internal memory? It is a place where data and program are stored temporarily as long as they are being executed. So here in internal memory, data and programs are stored temporarily. Next, internal memory is very fast and expensive, but it has a limited storage capacity. This is the main property of internal memory. Next point is, internal memory is also divided into two types, that is RAM and ROM. Internal memory is also known as a primary memory, right? Primary memory is a place where data and programs are stored temporarily. So internal memory, if I talk about an internal memory, then it is also a primary memory. Okay. So now next point is, we will discuss about internal memory types, that is RAM and ROM. Next is this is how a RAM looks like. RAM, full form is random access memory. Now it is a type of computer internal memory that can be accessed randomly. As the name suggests, random access memory. It can be accessed randomly. It is a volatile memory, as data and instructions are stored temporarily during its processing and lost forever when the computer is switched off. This is the main property of a RAM. Whatever information we enter into the computer goes into the RAM, and it remains there as long as we are working on an application. It is a volatile memory, as I have told you. So if we take an example of RAM, so calculator is an best example of RAM, right? Now we will discuss about types of RAM. So there are four types of RAM. First is DRAM, that is dynamic random access memory. Second is static random access memory. Third one is your synchronous dynamic random access memory. And fourth one is your double data rate memory. So what is DRAM? That is dynamic random access memory. Dynamic random access memory stores data temporarily, as data is lost when power supply is suspended. This is the property of a DRAM, that is dynamic random access memory. and in whereas in static random access memory, it is fast and expensive. It does not need to be refreshed like DRAM. This is the main property of static random access memory. What is synchronous dynamic random access memory? So it uses a synchronous interface, right, to transmit large amount of data at a very high speed. That's why its name is synchronous dynamic random access memory. Whereas in double data rate memory, it is majorly used in Intel Pentium 4 system, right? It requires lesser power and also it has a speed which is double than that of SDRAM. It has a double speed than SDRAM, that is synchronous dynamic random access memory. Double data rate memory has a double speed than that synchronous dynamic random access memory. So this was all about types of RAM, that is random access memory we have discussed. Now guys, if you are preparing for FSSAI exams, so this series will be kind of a booster in your preparation. 20 mock tests are included in this mock test series as per latest syllabus of FSSAI. 500 plus most important previous year MCQs are included in this 20 mock test series. So price is just rupees 299. If you want to purchase this, just simply visit our website rankingpediaeducation.com, or you can install our application, that is Ranking Pedia Education application, in order to access free notes, and these lectures notes will also be uploaded in our application also, and from that application can simply purchase this mock test series. Now moving further, we will discuss about internal memory second type, that is ROM. ROM stands for read only memory. Now it is a type of memory that can only read information. That's why its name is read only memory. So it is a non-volatile memory as it stores information permanently. So in volatile memory, information was stored temporarily, but in a non-volatile memory, information is stored permanently. That's why ROM is a non-volatile memory. Data stored in ROM can neither be modified nor it can be removed. This is the main property of ROM. So now we talk about the primary use of ROM is during the booting process, right? So the primary use of ROM is during the booting process. Now we will see about read-only memory types. So there are 4 types mainly. PROM, that is programmable read-only memory. Second one is your erasable programmable read-only memory, that is EPROM. Third one is your EEPROM, that is electronically erasable programmable read-only memory. Fourth one is your masked ROM. First we will discuss about programmable read-only memory. So as the name suggests, the content can be programmed using a special device known as PROM programmer. In PROM programmer read-only memory, there is a use of special device, that is a PROM programmer. Sometimes it is also called OTP, that is one-time programmable ROM. PROM is also called one-time programmable ROM. Now we will discuss about erasable programmable read-only memory, that is EPROM. As the name suggests, it can be erased and reprogrammed repeatedly with the help of specialized software. That is the property of EPROM. Whereas in EEPROM, that is electronically erasable programmable read-only memory, the content on the chip can be erased and it can also be reprogrammed in blocks instead of one byte at a time. That's why it is known as electronically erasable programmable read-only memory. Whereas if we discuss about masked ROM, so it is a memory that is manufactured with its content. Now these chips contain a software mask that is burned on the chip during the design phase of semiconductor manufacturing process. That's why it is known as masked ROM. So these are the types of ROM. Now we will discuss about external memory. As we have seen about internal memory, we have finished internal memory, we have studied about its type. Now we will discuss about external memory. So What are external memory? It is also known as auxiliary memory or as secondary memory. External memory is also known as auxiliary memory or as secondary memory. External memory, the speed of external memory is much slower than that of internal memory. Third point is commonly used external storage device are your hard disk, CD, DVDs, your pen drive are some commonly storage external storage devices. Now why we need that external memory? Since the main memory is temporary, right? Expensive also. It is inefficient to store a huge amount of data. So whenever we require the data for processing. So the data for processing gets transformed from secondary memory to the primary memory. Therefore, the data has to be stored separately in a secondary storage. In order to make it permanent and accessible for a longer duration of time, we require this type of memory, that is an external memory. That's why it is known as secondary memory and auxiliary memory, and also it has a speed which is much slower than that of internal memory. Now we will discuss about arithmetic logical unit. Now CPU's second component is arithmetic logical unit. Now we will discuss about it. So arithmetic logical unit, it performs the arithmetic and logical operation on the operands. As the name suggests, it performs the arithmetic and logical operations. That's why it is an arithmetic logical unit. Now, arithmetic operations are your additions, subtractions, multiplications and division, whereas your logical operations are like your greater than, less than, greater than equal to or less than equal to. These are your logical operations, right? So these logical operations test various conditions during processing, and the data or the operand act as an input for ALU, that is arithmetic logical unit. Data or operand act as an input and it generates the output as a result of computation. Now we will discuss about third component, which is CU, that is control unit. Now, control unit controls the operation of every other component of a computer system. It controls the operation of every other component of computer system. It also controls the transfer of data and instructions among other units of computer. Third point is the major point. It is also called the central nervous system of a computer system, as it manages all other units. In order to execute the instructions, the component of computer receives signals from the control unit. Now, it extracts instructions from memory, decodes them, and it sends the necessary signals to ALU in order to perform the required operation. That's why it is called central nervous system, as it manages all other units of CPUs. So, this was all about CPU and its component. I hope you liked this video, and please share this video to your friends who are preparing for FSSAI exams, in which computer literacy portion plays a vital role and important role in FSSAI exam. Check our description too. Thank you so much. We will meet in next lecture.